skills. And it's been such an honor for me to watch their transformation to become who they are meant to be. So I get to have this front row view of watching them become the person that they are meant to be. For many of them, like our current Miss Washington USA, Christine Brody, I've known her since she was 17 years old. So we go way back. And I don't know if you had a chance to interview our Miss Montana USA, Jamie Forsyth. I knew her when she was a teenager. So again, some of these women I know for several years. And after the pageant is over, for many of them, I go to their weddings, or I hear the announcement of their baby shower, or just another big milestones in their life. So again, I feel very honored to be a part of it. That's exactly. I feel like I am the mother, the friend, the manager, you name it. I'm there when the title holder needs somebody to talk to. I have my phone always available to them anytime. So again, it is a big family. I'm part of their extended family. So I've been in this role for almost 9.5 years. And the funny thing how I got to be part of this is my husband actually has been doing this for 20 years. So when I married him, that was part of the checklist. One of the things he asked me was, either I hire somebody just like you, or you do this with me full time. And at that time, I was working at a startup company. It was in the aesthetic space, about giving people confidence about making beauty decisions that's best for them. And I was employee number 7. Now that company has grown to more than 200 employees. It is the #1 website in the world when it comes to helping people make aesthetic decisions. And that company is called realself.com. So when my husband shared with me, Maureen, I'm now taking on Montana. At that time, he was only doing Washington and Idaho. And when he was offered by the Miss Universe organization to take on Montana, that's when we took that leap of faith and started working together. And we were just newly married. So imagine being newly married, being business partners, and doing this journey together. And this is something I would have never expected to do. But I think that's what's wonderful about life, is that you have to just be open to opportunities and open to things. So here I am in this role for 9.5 years. And we also took on Oregon. So we now oversee Idaho, Montana, Oregon, and Washington. So prior to me being a director, the only pageant experience I had was when I was a senior in high school. I decided to do a pageant to work on my confidence and my public speaking skills. So I did one pageant and I was done, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. It pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And I had no idea that I would now be in this role many years later. I am somebody who has a very open communication with my state queens, and I want them to have the most amazing experience. At the same time, I want them to have a servant heart when it comes to this role. This role is not just about them, it's about serving their state, serving their community, promoting the sponsors, and empowering other people. So if I can get a state queen like that, then it makes it such an easy journey for me, because that person is very ready to be giving and helping of others. And they're more coachable, I find when it's about, again, serving the state or serving the community versus serving entirely about themselves. So in addition to being part of the Miss Universe organization, I also sit on the board of Miss World America, and I judge many other different pageant systems. Plus, I am the co-founder of the Global Beauty Awards Show, which celebrates the pageant community at the international level. So we have various different pageant systems come together, and what our voting members do is they find the unsung heroes in the pageant community. It might be a director, a title holder, a volunteer, somebody who works in production, and we just honor and celebrate them. So to answer your question, I feel like I have my hands in so many different pageant systems. And really, if you remove the title, it's all about empowering and celebrating each other. So that's where I feel the most full in my heart, is if we can shed light and again spread positivity in this world. I know it's very cliche, but gosh, right now there's so much negativity going on in this world, and I am a firm believer that if we focus on the positive things in this world, we can change the world that way and make it better. Yes, so Crystal Stewart happens to be our 2020 Best Entrepreneur Award for the Global Beauty Awards Show.
Oh.
And I am so excited to have her be the national director for Miss USA. I know she's very passionate about the women, the community, the other directors. So yes, this is a wonderful partnership. And we are still part of the Miss Universe organization. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. Yes, so the Global Beauty Awards will now be in its 5th year. And what we do is, again, we have voting members who are part of various pageant systems. And what they'll do is nominate different people, whether it's best director, best title holder, best volunteer, production staff, maybe it's a pageant parent or a sponsor. And the voting members decide who will win in these respective categories. And then we honor not only the winners, but also the official nominees. We get about hundreds of submissions from all over the world. And our next one will be coming up in May, and it'll be sometime in the Northwest. And past honorees include not only Crystal Stewart, who became the very first African-American woman to hold the national franchise for the Miss USA, but we also honored Paula Sugar, who is the president of the Miss Universe organization. We've honored Jamie Kern-Lima, who was a former Miss Washington USA, who was our very first MC and a first producer for Pageants Northwest. And she became L'Oreal's first female CEO in L'Oreal's history. So those are the type of caliber of people that we honor. And I feel that it's very important, again, in the pageant community, because I haven't found an award show of this kind where voting members get to decide who they want to nominate and eventually help choose the winner. So again, it's a big celebration of various different pageant systems. We all come together, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email you a link from our past award show to give you and your listeners and viewers just a little bit more information about this. And we have Luciera, as you may know, she is the host of the Miss Universe in previous years of Miss USA. She's the one of the hosts, and she's our host, red carpet host for the Global Beauty Awards show. No, you can be part of the VIP voting team. It's really anybody in the pageant community. And what happens is every January, all of the VIP voting members will read the submissions, and there are hundreds of submissions, and you will have voting power to decide on who you would like to win in each category. So for the next coming award show, we've added a few more categories. For example, one honoring those patriots. We've also are honoring supporters. Maybe they're not a pageant parent, but maybe they're a spouse of a pageant person, or maybe a significant other. But we've added several more categories for this upcoming award show, and that's going to be in May sometime in the Northwest, somewhere in the Northwest.
If you have a category called Fun Interview, I nominate Katie, Miss Teen Montana, USA.
Oh, she is funny, Katie. Wow.
I interview for Katie, and I have a law, and it's very funny. It's my favorite interview of this season.
So anybody who has an opportunity to be around Katie, she is this ball of energy, and she's just so authentic. I remember we went to go to Atlanta. This was a couple of weekends ago, and she was there to pick out her ideal dress, her dream dress to wear at Miss Teen USA. And she put on the very first dress. And I remember her just fighting back the tears, because she's like, Maureen, I've never gone to a gown store. This is the first time. I come from a small town in Montana, and here I am. I have Sherry Hill. I have all of these beautiful dresses that I'm surrounded by, and I get to select my dress. And again, it was just such an authentic moment. She's just so funny, and just, I remember we went to the hotel, and this hotel was massive. It was, I think, 42 or 44 floors, and she just kept looking up, and it was just so fun, just living vicariously through her. She's just a sweet gal, and again, never did a pageant.
She's fresh. She's very fresh. She's spontaneous. No stereotype. She's very fresh for me. And before this interview, I had a bad day, and she gave me a very smile for the rest of my day.
She's just so funny without even knowing she's funny. And again, okay, I'll tell you a funny story. So Katie and I roomed together when she was picking out her dress. And I remember this was around 2 a.m. in the morning. We're about to go to bed because we both had very late flights. And as I was in bed, she goes, Maureen, I forgot to tell you one thing. And I go, what is it, Katie? She goes, if I get really quiet and for some reason I'm not talkative anymore, I might be going into shock. And I go, what do you mean in shock? She goes, I'm allergic to anything that's corn. And if there is corn nearby, I might go into shock. And what I want you to do is take my EpiPen and stab it and put it on my leg. And again, remember, this is around 2 a.m. I'm about to fall asleep. And I remember just slapping my face going, okay, Maureen, wake up. This is big. I need to be ready just in case if something happens. And I go, Katie, I've never put an EpiPen on someone. So can we just rehearse so I know what to do? So she had a blank EpiPen, and she was showing me how to stab her leg. And the first time I did it, it wasn't forceful enough. She goes, no, you got to just stab it like this. And I remember going, okay, now I'm ready. And I just found that it's not funny, but I also found it entertaining, because I'm like, it's 2 a.m. and here she is walking me through on how to stab her with an EpiPen if anything should happen.
And during the interview of Katie, she is very spontaneous, and she has a funny answer, a funny behavior. She loves this girl. She for me, she is Misty, is the next Misty USA. She must have this cone. She's
so fresh. She's different, and I understand why the judges fell in love with her last year when she competed, is because she's just herself. She's not rehearsed. She's just, and that's what I tell the ladies when they compete in our pageant. I tell them, don't be somebody who you're not, because there's already somebody of that person.
It's a real person. It's not a personage. It's not a character. She's the real person, and she loves this person.
Yes, yes. And I tell the ladies, just be yourself, you know, be authentic, because that's where the real confidence happens, is when you are yourself and you're unapologetically yourself, and you don't have to pretend to be somebody. That's where the real magic happens. Wow, 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 wow. That's a good question. So I say both, and I'll tell you why. So being a contestant, I find it very challenging because I was a contestant at one time in my life. It is not easy to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, and with the judging process, you have actually no control, because these judges are people and they have their own form of opinions, and all you can do is just be your very self and know that you worked hard, but it's out of your control. Really, it's out of your control, the judging process. As a director, there's so many moving parts. Right around this time, we get a lot of contestants who start doubting themselves, because when the contestant profiles go up on the website, as a person and as a woman, it's so easy to start comparing yourself with the other gals. And for some of the gals, they feel like they're not ready. They need more time to prepare. So as a director, I just tell them, you just got to be your very best. And again, comparison is a thief of any joy. And whether you do this pageant or not, you just have to be laser focused and stay in your lane and have the most fun. There's so many different personalities that I have to manage. Plus there are certain guidelines. Each state, each county has different guidelines when it comes to producing a pageant during a pandemic. So I have to also manage that. Again, it's just, it's never, it's not easy, and you have to be adaptable, and you're fighting this deadline. For example, our show is in 2 weeks, and I have this list right next to me of every action item I have to do. And I feel like I'm running a marathon, that I have to be at a certain spot on a certain day at a certain time to make sure I fulfill everything. But again, both roles, whether you're a contestant, whether you're a director, they're both very rewarding. And when this is all over, come September 13th, that's on a Monday, I have this huge weight just lifted off of me. And guess what? The next day, on Tuesday, I start prepping for the next pageant, which is the Oregon pageant. And the same thing, a cycle happens. Once that pageant is over, I start prepping for the Washington pageant. And then when that's over, it's time for the award show. So you just have to constantly celebrate and pace yourself, because this is a marathon.
It's the same thing for a magazine. We have the 10, we publish, each 10 we publish the magazine. The 11, we are tired, but you must work for the next, and we have a lot of lists, because it's a very, very passionate job.
And I applaud you, because you have deadlines, you have to do interviews and laying out the magazine. I mean, it's a lot of work. And I don't think people, again, understand that. They see the finished product, but it took a whole team, a labor of love, putting everything together. So thank you. Wow. And you guys are covering the 2 biggest pageants.
Yes, we have 1 month ago, I have the accreditation for Miss World, and I hope for Miss Universe. I have sent my request of accreditation to make, but I wait the answer because we are not sure if the press can travel in Israel.
Oh, yes, yes. Your job is very fun. It's stressful. It's kind of like my job. It's everything, and every day is new.
In August, we have cover Miss and Mr. Supranational in Poland.
Oh, wow. Yes.
We
Yes.
have support Felix for Mr. Supranational United States. We have a lot of connection with the director Alan. And in November, I promise all candidates I have interviewed to see you in Tuzla in November. And Crystal said me, okay, no problem for the accreditation.
That's amazing. Again, your schedule is full, it's busy. I think about what you're doing, and it's how fun it is, interviewing people and getting a snapshot of their life, what they do, and the words of wisdom. So you get you have a fun job.
Yeah, and you too have a fun job too. But interview in Zoom is very different to interview in the real life. And I promise to see Katie, Miss Maternity in USA, to speak with her about food.
Yes. Well, I hope you guys can make it to our award show in May. I think you would love it because there's so many different pageant systems. We had Miss World America executives there at our most recent award show. So again, it's just a fun place to meet new people, meet amazing people who are all about empowering and just spreading positivity. So many just heartwarming stories. Again, it's fun. Pageant people are fun to be around.
And I want to see Katrina because she is a teacher like me because my previous job is teacher.
Oh, and again, Katerina, I'm just extremely proud of her. Again, I've known her for so many years. She's somebody who was so relentless. She never gave up. A lot of people in her circle had doubts, telling her, why are you pursuing this dream? Isn't it time to hang up that dream? And she goes, no, it's not. It's still in my heart. And sure enough, she trusted her gut, and it's all about the timing.
I love the platform of Katrina. It's a platform about veterans, and my husband is a veteran of French Army, but I understand the platform of Katrina.
Yes, her platform is very clear. She's an educator. She is all about supporting our veterans. And she is somebody who is so good at organizing because she has to juggle so many things. She loves this. This is what she was meant to do. So I'm really excited for her. And it's going to be emotional when I watch the state queens go to Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, because for many of them, this has been a dream planted in their heart for years. And for them to walk on that stage, it's going to be a pinch me moment. They're going to pinch themselves going, wow, I'm finally here. I'm doing this. So it's going to be really exciting to watch them.
And I hope to see you in November in Tuzla.
Are you going to go there physically?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. I will give you my cell number so that way we can certainly connect. It's going to be wonderful to meet you in person.
When we cover a pageant, we go personally, physically in the final.
Okay, wow, that's really going to be fun that you guys are all there. And you had a chance to know our state queens. So there's some sort of emotional investment in them because you know them. So you're not only covering it from just a journalist and a media perspective, but you're also emotionally invested in them. So that's going to be fun for you all.
I have interviewed almost all candidates.
Wow.
Only Nevada. I have no interview of Nevada and West Virginia.
Okay. Wow. But again, so exciting that you've almost interviewed nearly everyone, and that's a lot of work.
Yes, I love pageantry. I love meet a new person, new title holder, because she have all the candidates have a history, have a platform. It's very interesting fact. It's interesting history, and I love this.
You know, I actually took a little bit of French in high school. I wanted to practice because as I'm hearing you speak, it's bringing back memories when I was in high school. I know oui, bonjour, mademoiselle, basic words, but I have a tough time remembering sentences.
Yes, I have a terrific accent, a French accent. I can't lose my French accent.
No, don't lose it. It's beautiful. And again, I wish I can remember my French because when I went to France during my honeymoon, I could only speak just again words. I couldn't speak, in full sentences. But I love I love Paris. It was absolutely amazing. I love your desserts.
I
Um,
live in Paris.
oh, wow, wow! It's beautiful there. The culture, the art. Um,
But French have no culture of pageant. We have only Miss France, and Miss Elegance France.
that's
It's
it.
enough. Yeah, it's all.
That's so surprising because you had a Miss France who won Miss Universe. So,
Yes, it's Miss France. It's Sylvie Tellier is the director of Miss France, and it's the holder director of Miss Universe organization.
got it. Okay.
And Miss France sends the delegate at Miss Universe and Miss World only.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm learning about the different directors and the different systems. Now, are you all going to be going to Israel as well?
Yes, I can travel because I am my vaccine, full
Okay.
vaccinate, and I can because I have two passports, French and American, and I can go in Israel.
Okay. You're
Not
going
a
to have
problem because with the French passport, it's without visa, without authorization.
okay. So you will be able to go to Israel then.
Yes, I want
Okay.
to go because I want to go this show. It's the rumor say it's an amazing show in Israel.
Have you ever been to Israel?
Yes, with my father.
Okay. So I went there several years ago and I love the country. Again, I'm all about the food. I love the food. I noticed the fruits and really just the vegetables. It's huge, it's abundance there. And when I describe it to other people, I said, I think it's because of the soil and something to do with the temperature why everything is bigger there.
And
Um, and
have you visited Eilat already? Have you visited Eilat?
I visit not that particular place. I visited Tel Aviv and I
And
visited
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem. Yes, those are
Yes.
the two places that I visited, and the Dead Sea,
Eilat,
obviously.
Eilat is a beach town. It's a beach. It's a less touristic of Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, but it's a holiday town for Israel. It's very interesting because we have the desert beside the town, and we have the sea near of the resort.
Wow, wow. I would love to visit this coming December. So we will see. It depends on when because December is also the month that I'm throwing my son a birthday party. His real birth date is January the 1st, but not many people can celebrate on January 1st on New Year's because people are still recovering from New Year's Eve. So we're throwing him a birthday party in December. So it all depends on when the
We
exact.
have no date for the moment, we have the rumor say it's in December, but maybe in January. It's not sure in December. It's not sure.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, now
We
I've
have
got,
Miss World is okay. It's a 16 December, but for Miss Universe we have the date of 12 December, but it's not sure.
wow. You know more information than me. Thank you. Thank you.
It's not true, but for my birthday, it's Miss USA for me.
Oh, December 12th is your birthday?
November is my birthday.
Oh, November. Oh, November is your birthday. So happy early birthday. We'll celebrate. I'm gonna, after this meeting, I'll give you my cell phone number so you have it.
Right, yes. And I have a question. You have director since 12 years? 12.
Oh, I've been a director for 9.5 years now. Or I've been executive producer, but a director, I would say probably 9 years. My husband has been doing this for 20 years. So he was approached by the Miss Universe organization more than 20 years ago. The owner at that time wanted somebody in the talent business, and he was a talent agent, and that's how he received a phone call about this opportunity. And he didn't really know anything about pageants, but one of his employees, her name is Jamie Kern, now it's called Jamie Kern Lima, and she said to him, if you take on the Miss Washington USA, Miss Washington Teen USA, I will teach you everything about pageants. So she became our very first producer and our very first MC. Fast forward many years later, Jamie sold her company, It Cosmetics, to L'Oreal.
Oh.
Yes, in 2016 for $1.2 billion. And Jamie is our 2018 Global Beauty Awards Best Entrepreneur recipient. So it's a full circle moment. The best memory is when somebody keeps competing and finally they hear their name being called. I feel for them because again, I've seen this particular contestants, because there's been multiple contestants, and it's just so wonderful for me to watch their dreams come true. So I think that's probably one of my favorite memories. Again, the friendship. I have a lot of friends in this industry. A lot of the contestants eventually become my friends. In fact, I'm going to dinner with 2 of our former contestants, and we're going out to dinner next month, and we're just going to catch up. So again, the favorite memories, the friendship, the contestants who keep coming back year after year, and finally they hear their name. The staff, I mean, these volunteers who can be doing something else during pageant weekend, but they choose to help us. I mean, it's a lot of work. They roll up their sleeves. They are willing to do whatever role that they want to do. And it's chaotic, it's organized, it's everything in between. But yes, those are all my favorite memories. Ooh, my favorite title holder. So I've had many title holders. Gosh, you know, I can't say just one because I'm friends with a lot of them, and I don't want them to call me and say, hey, why didn't you choose me as your favorite? I will say this, that many of the state queens do become my lifelong friends, and I just love them dearly because now I'm not their director, I'm more of their friend, and our friendship changes where we can like really talk about even more things. So yes, and I know that's not the answer that you want to hear. I just don't want I don't want, if I reveal one person, they're going to call me and go, why
I
did you?
understand. It's very
Yes.
difficult.
Oh, a good Miss USA is somebody who's going to be out there, especially during this pandemic, like somebody who's out there inspiring other people. This world is so divided right now, and our country is so divided that I would like the next Miss USA to bring us all together. Take out the politics, and just make it fun, and bring back fashion and entertainment. And again, just bringing back unity. That's what I think I would like to see in the next Miss USA.
It's very difficult with the pandemic to be a title holder this year.
It is, because you might set your sight on an appearance, but then because of the guidelines changing, you can't do that appearance. So you have to really go with the flow. And the judges picked the right queens this year with our title holders. They've all been very amazing when it comes to just going with the flow and understanding that we have a goal of doing this one thing, but it might not exactly go as planned. And they're understanding about that. So, and I know it takes a certain personality, because other people might be very upset, but they don't see the big picture that is really outside of our control. So there's certain things that, again, you can do all the planning, but if the government says no, or the rules change, you can only do so much.
I am excited because Crystal had a new part of the competition, the national costume.
Yes, that's going to be fun. And while it's not judged, we get to see another part of these women's personalities. And some of these costumes are really going to be amazing. I can't tell you, because the girls would be like, Maureen, I want to keep it a secret, but I want to tell you the creativity behind these costume ideas. I'm very, very excited to see on stage.
I love this part of the competition. And I am first, it's a frustration because I ask the question, I have your national costume all at all candidates. And they say at all time, it's a secret. I have no idea. Uh, Idao say me, the only Katarina say me, Idao is not only potatoes.
Yes, yes. Yes, because Idaho is known for its potatoes, but no, it's not going to be potatoes. I think the viewers are going to really enjoy the national costumes. Some of these costumes, especially the ones from Pageants Northwest, some of them are very, very creative. And when the announcer explains what that costume is, the light bulb will come on and go, wow, that was pretty creative. Because some you might not quite understand when you first see it, because it's going to be art. But once the announcer explains a little bit more, then I think the viewers will be go, that was good. I didn't see that one coming.
I can't wait to this part of the competition. I am excited about this.
Yes, it's going to be fun. And this year there's also going to be an award show too. So that's going to be fun. I mean, Crystal and her team, the Miss Brand team, they're working extremely hard, and they're going to put on a memorable event. They have a lot of activities. So the families of these contestants, the fans, the friends, they will not be bored at all during that week, because there's a lot going on.
Yes, and I hope, I'm sure it's a very good, a very great show in November.
It will. It'll be an amazing show. It'll be, again, just a lot of fun. And I think this is what we need right now. We need, with all of the chaos going on in the world, it'll be nice to just all come together and just celebrate the accomplishments of these contestants. It's going to be a wonderful week. I love the fact that the organization, the Miss Universe organization is all about embracing all types of women. So again, I just think it's a beautiful message that it's all about embracing different types of women. I know with Pageants Northwest, we had our very first open transgender compete in our pageant. This was the Miss Montana USA pageant a couple years ago. And that was something new in that community. And the contestants embraced Anita, that was her name, Anita Green. And we still see her to this day. We just saw her at the award show. So again, I love the fact it's all about embracing women, and it's all about empowering women. A lot of women actually hesitate competing in the pageant because they feel like they don't have the experience, they don't have the right look, they don't have the right background. And I tell them, throw all of that out and just do it. Start the process now, because when you go through this journey and you're going to be pushed outside of your comfort zone, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard. There's a lot of self-reflection, but once you get pushed outside of that comfort zone, that is where the real growth happens. And when you can look at another woman rather than compare yourself, but say, wow, I'm really proud to be among these talented group of women, that is, again, confidence. That is something that you can be proud of, that you are surrounded by all of these other people who want to better themselves. So I get a lot of applicants saying, Maureen, I'm not tall enough. And I tell them, I'm not even 5 feet tall. I'm barely 5 feet tall, but that doesn't stop me from being a director. So you set your own limitations yourself. Oftentimes people will set their own limitations. And I tell the contestants or the ones on the fence, saying, just do it. Life is short. Life is a marathon. Life is a journey. Just do it, so that way you can have self-reflection. And especially in the USA system, this is a time in your life where you're not married, you do not have children. This is a time to focus on yourself, because as you know, once you're married, once you have kids, things are different. It's not all about you, it's about the family. So take this time and just really embrace this journey, this very short season in your life.
And after, when the girl married, she can enter to married pageantry, like Mrs. America, Mrs. World. It's another pageant, it's another system. It's very different.
Yes, it is different in different systems. And there are other systems that do embrace and welcome ones who are married. So again, that's one thing that's great about, again, the pageant industry. It is very inclusive, and that whatever season that person is in their life, there is a pageant for that season. For example, at our award show, we had a lot of seniors. There are a lot of senior women who are doing pageantry. There's Miss Senior USA Universe, Miss Senior World. There's also a pageant for men. There's a pageant for those who are petite. There's a pageant for Asians. Again, there's so many different pageant systems. There's pageants for young, very young contestants.
And in United States, we have Miss Wheelchair USA.
Yes. So again, very different pageant systems out there. There is a right pageant out there for somebody. It's all about researching, learning about it. But again, if you're in a season of like, hey, I want to better myself, I want to have a goal, and I don't want to do it alone, I want to do it with other people, the pageant is the best outlet to do that.
All girls count to be Miss World or Miss Universe. We have one crown for, and it's a dream for a lot of girls, but no, all people can't become a Miss Universe or Miss World. But for me, we have a lot of system, and each value, each system have a value. It's this value do you compare, do you discover before to enter in the system.
So is the question, there's so many different pageant systems out there. Which one is right for you?
Yeah.
Is that,
Yes.
okay, which one is right? I would first look at the requirement, the set of requirements to make sure you do meet the requirements. For example, in the USA system, you have to be a US citizen, never married. But let's say you are married and you do want to continue your journey of self-growth and confidence building, then I would research the other different pageant systems out there. There's the Mrs. system, there's Mrs. United States, Mrs. America, again, Mrs. World. There's so many different pageant systems out there. And if you don't know, you can ask different pageant sisters and they will direct you, or you can go to the Global Beauty Awards, which is our award show. And if you go to the list of sponsors, you can see the different pageant systems that sponsor the Global Beauty Awards, and you can see how there are so many out there.
Oh, it's a good idea to
Yes.
go to the website of Global Beauty Awards.
Yes, and you can find exactly, you know, what system is right for you.
Yes.
The message I have right now is just spread love. I think that is what we need right now. And I know, again, it sounds so cliche, but the world is just so divided right now. And I think if we focus on the positivity and spreading love and not always reacting when you see something on the internet, you want to make a comment, which sometimes might not serve a purpose, only to hurt and destroy somebody. Like what's the point of that, right? Behind that person is a person. So again, my focus would be to just spread love and positivity and focus on that, because whatever we focus on, that is what's going to be magnified even more.